Okay, guys, so we're going to be trying to get ready for our next class, which is tomorrow, just kind of going over adding and subtracting polynomials. So here's some just quick hits on the process that we're going to go, because tomorrow you guys will be applying that process. So let's look at adding and subtracting. All right, so in this case, we always need to have a common denominator in order for me to add things together. Well, do these have a common denominator? And we would say, yes, they do. So because they have a common denominator, I know that they're both going to be over the same thing, 6a plus 18. And now what I can do is I can just take the numerators and add them together. And if I do that, I get a plus 12 over 6a plus 18. Nothing simplifies, or I can't factor anything out of both of these, so this would be the most simplified answer in this case. All right, so let's look at this next one. In this case, well, do they have a common denominator? Yes, they have exactly the same thing. So I know it's going to be over n squared plus 6n plus 8. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking n plus 5, and then we're subtracting this entire thing from n minus 4. We're subtracting that n minus 4 all the way from n plus 5. So, I'm going to just kind of carry this down a little bit. I got n plus 5. Now what I'm going to do is just take that minus sign all the way through. Some people do. Some people can just do the subtraction in their head. That's okay. And that's going to be over n squared plus 6n plus 8. So right now I got n plus 5 minus n plus 4. If I simplify it some more, I end up with a 9 because the n's cancel each other out. And that's going to be n squared plus 6n plus 8. That would be your most simplified answer for that one. Okay. Let's look at this next one here. Same idea. If I look at it, I mean, we know that it's going to be over 5m squared plus 12m minus 9. In this case, we're going to be combining or adding m minus 1 plus 4. And in that case, I would get m plus 3 over 5m squared plus 12m minus 9. What I do know is I have m plus 3 in the numerator. In the denominator, actually 5m squared plus 12m minus 9 does factor. We're looking for a product at negative 45 and a sum of 12. And that's going to be 15 negative 3. So if I just look at this, 5m squared plus 15m minus 3m minus 9. So you got 5m minus 3. And then m plus 3 is what it's going to factor out to be. So if I look at it, I got 5m minus 3, and then I got m plus 3. Is there anything that cancels in the top and the bottom? We would say yes. So your final answer would actually just end up being 1 over 5m minus 3, because it could factor out. Okay. All right. So looking at this last one, I can subtract these. So it looks like I'm doing v plus 4 minus v plus 5. That's going to become negative 1 because the v's cancel out, and then 4 minus positive 5 is negative 1 over 10v cubed plus 12v squared. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys to pause the video and just try these next couple questions for me. Actually try these couple questions. All right, so for that first one, number 5, I ended up with 2v plus 4 divided by 18v squared minus 6v. If I look at it, I could take a 2 out of the numerator, so I get 2 times v plus 2. And the denominator 6v is the greatest common factor. When I look at the 2 and the 6v, there is a 3. The 2 goes into 6 3 times, so that's how I end up with 3v in the denominator. When I look at number 6, when I do v plus 6 minus v minus 1, I end up with v plus 6 minus v plus 1, which gets me a 7 in the numerator. So I can keep it as 7 divided by 5v squared minus 30v plus 25. Or I can simplify that a little bit. Let's look at a couple of these in which we just have to find a common denominator. So when I'm looking at this, really what I'm taking is I'm looking at each of these denominators and figure out what does this one have that the other one doesn't. Well, if I look at k plus 3 divided by 6k plus 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by 2 over 2 because 2 is in that denominator. And I'm going to take 2k over 2. And I am going to multiply it by the denominator 6k plus 2 divided by 6k plus 2. And then we just multiply across. So I'm going to get 2k plus 6. And then I got 12k plus 4. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So I got 12k squared plus 4k. And I will end up with 12k plus 4. So if I simplify this right now, I have 12k squared plus 6k plus 1. And all of this is going to be, or over plus 6. And I will get 12k plus 4 in the denominator. Okay? Looking at this, what's the greatest common factor in the numerator? I could say 6. 6 goes into everything. So I got 2k squared plus 1k plus 1. And then the bottom, I could say 4 is. So I have 4, and then I have 3k plus 1. And then if I look at 6 and 4, and if I simplify that, that will get me 3 over 2 times 2k squared plus 1k plus 1 all over 2 times 3k plus 1. That'd be like your simplified term. Okay. Let's look at one more here. So we'll look at two more. So looking here, we are going to take this term and we're going to multiply it, 4n, we're going to take 4n and multiply it by 3n minus 2 because the denominator is 3n minus 2 on the other side. And then we're going to take 2n cubed and multiply that by the same thing. For the 5 over 3n minus 2, I'm going to multiply that by 2n cubed. Okay, so right now I got 10n cubed plus 12n minus 12n squared minus 8n. And then on the denominator, I am going to end up with 6n cubed, or 6n to the 4th, sorry. And then 6n to the 4th minus 4n cubed. So if I just factor out the denominator right now, I got 2n cubed times 3n minus 2. And then on the top, what is the greatest common factor that goes into all those? I got a 2n that goes into all those. So I have 5n squared plus 6n minus 4. So if I wanted to simplify it, you would end up with, well, the 2's cancel, and the n cancels one of the n cubed. So I have n squared on the denominator, 3n minus 2. And that's going to be 5n squared plus 6n minus 4. All right. Now let's just look at this last one. In this case, number 9, we're just going to multiply the top by 2k, the bottom by 2k, and then we're going to multiply 3 by 3k minus 12, 2k times 3k minus 12. So on the bottom, I know it's going to be 2k times 3k minus 12. And then I got 9k minus 36 minus, and then it's going to be 2k squared minus 10k. So if I kind of clean this up, I get negative 2k squared plus 19k minus 36. And that is going to be over 2k times 3k minus 12. And that's going to be kind of like the most simplified answer. I'm going to ask you guys to try the last couple, and we will see you tomorrow.